It's another Spider-Man video. Another Spider-Man video, guys. All my other videos, anything like comic book or movie related that have been on this channel, other than my reviews that I did, are all complaints against Spider-Man stuff. Morbius, Venom / Carnage stuff. Like, what is Sony doing over there? I have no idea. God forbid, I don't make any videos about MCU because they seem like they got everything figured out. But when it comes to our boy Spider-Man, they just can't seem to leave him alone. Now, I'm not the most knowledgeable guy when it comes to Spider-Man stuff because I never read a comic. I'm not like Jimmy over here that's like, back in comic number 1570. Be quiet, Jimmy. No one cares about your comics. What do I look like, a nerd? But today we have some big pressing rumors that have been coming out lately, and it is affecting me in my core. Do I like them? Do I hate them? I guess we'll find out. So follow me to my office, all right? Kids, copy after me, all right? And drugs aren't cool. Stay in school. All right, guys. So welcome to my office, and take a seat, put your feet up, and got some coffee in the back right over there, and let's talk about Spider-Man, okay? So I'm a little worried as to what's going to happen in regards to Spider-Man 3, Something Home, because we know that home is going to be in the title, okay? Our boy Tom Holland, thanks to his great ability to just bring both the peace between Disney and Sony to at least do one more Spider-Man film. Excuse me. Thanks to our boy Tom Holland to bring the peace amongst Disney and Sony to at least do one more Spider-Man film. As far as we know, there could be some talks in the back about continuing the relationship between them both to be sharing Spider-Man. But as of right now, we know there's one more movie and then one more crossover movie for Spider-Man, okay? Spider-Man 3 Something Home, because we know home is going to be in the title, is shaping up to be an interesting movie. And here's the reason why, okay? We got supposedly Alfred Molina, Doc Ock from the original Spider-Man, our boy Tobey Maguire universe, okay? Coming back to reprise his role as Dr. Octopus, okay? Otto Octavian. Alfred Molina is coming back to play that role? But how does that even work? We know that there's some work in play here, okay? Because not only is Dr. Ock coming back, but Electro from Andrew Garfield universe is coming back to reprise his role. And you know who's reprising it? Jamie Foxx. Now you might be asking yourself, what's wrong with that? Here's what's wrong with that. Dr. Octopus is literally from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man universe. And Electro, Jamie Foxx, is from the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man universe. They're reprising those exact roles and coming into Spider-Man 3. How does that work? Now, we can assume a couple things here. We're going to be getting WandaVision, and based off of what that is all said to be, is that in that series, somehow the multiverse is going to open up and allow the ability for the Avengers to mess with all these different universes and time continuums and blah, 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 blah. And then we know we have a Doctor Strange movie, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness or something like that, being directed by our boy Sam Raimi, who directed the first 3 Spider-Man movies of all time, okay? So if that's the case, well then, I guess the way that we're getting Doc Ock and Electro is by them opening up this universe and they cross over. But here's the thing. I guess because of this, everything that Sony has ever made in regards to Spider-Man stuff is now going to be canon within MCU things because of the fact that you open up a multiverse. That means Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is a different universe. Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, a different universe. So what else is there to go from? Now that we have all that cleared, I guess, if you're following me, Alfred Molina, Doc Ock, Jamie Foxx, Electro, and then the rumors continue, okay? Not only are we just getting those 2 bad guys, we're also in talks of getting Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield to come back and reprise their roles as their Spider-Man. I know that, what was it, 2 years ago, we got the Spider-Man into the multiverse. What was it called? Spider-Man into verse? Spider-Man into something with Spider-Man, Miles Morales, okay? Allowed the opportunity to show to audience for the first time ever the fact that multiverses exist. to a widespread audience. And honestly, got that Miles Morales movie is just on a whole nother level because it's so good. Now, because of that, it is now in the like the normal fan now is aware of the fact that multiple different Spider-Man can exist within one movie. With the success that we saw with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I'm pretty sure Sony's thinking to themselves, how can we do that again? How can we bring the hype, but bringing the hype even more hyper into a new movie? And here's how we're going to do it. We're going to do it in Spider-Man 3. So get this. Tom Holland, first movie, faced against Vulture, Shocker, and then a couple other guys, okay? That really didn't matter. Tinkerer was in there. We got to see Scorpion at the very end. And that's about it. Spider-Man 2, Far From Home. We get Mysterio. All right? Was there somebody else in that movie? I don't remember because they probably didn't matter. And now we're getting Spider-Man 3. And now, all of a sudden, the fact that all we have is Vulture, Shocker, Scorpion, Mysterio. We have 4 guys. And then they want to bring in number 5, Electro, number 6, Dr. Octopus. You get 6 bad guys in a Spider-Man story. What do you have yourself? The Sinister Six. They're really jumping from the first Spider-Man movie to the third one really fast with the Sinister Six movie. Or are they? Or are they? Because there's even more rumors that supposedly Kirsten Dunst and Emma Stone are going to be also reprising their roles. I know these are just rumors right now, but man, they are much stronger than they've ever have been before. That a lot of actors are really not wanting to even talk about them. They're avoiding these questions in a very different way because they know that this is happening. This is going to happen. But can Sony make the third Spider-Man movie already a Sinister Six movie right off the bat? And then how do they work their way to make things make sense? Because in Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man universe, okay, Dr. Octopus dies at the end of Spider-Man 2. Let's not forget. That's not a spoiler. And if that's a spoiler for you, bro, you had 20 years to watch that movie. Alfred Molina's Dr. Octopus dies at the end of Spider-Man 2. So how is he going to be coming over here? The only way that they can do that is if the multiverse opens up before he dies. But before he dies, that's 20 years younger Alfred Molina and 20 years younger Tobey Maguire. They are not going to look the same to this day. So somehow they're going to have to mess with the story to allow them to obviously look much older or something else. Something's going to happen. And then same goes for the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man universe. Electro dies at the end of Spider-Man 2. So how are they bringing him back? Is the universe going to open up in that? Is their universe going to open up before the events of them dying? Before Emma Stone dying? Because Emma Stone also dies at the end of Spider-Man 2. So how are they getting these characters to come into the Spider-Man 3 movie if 2 out of the 3 are dead? Spider-Man is the only one who's alive. Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. That's what we're talking about. There's so much Spider-Man right now. Just hang on, okay? Just get on point with me. How are they going to do this? The only reasonable way is if they do it this way, okay? If they change the stories up and try to act like there's these newer versions of those exact stories and then just bring them in for fanfare. Like we're getting Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, but he's not the Spider-Man that we remember from those previous movies. They're just bringing him in so they can do a multiverse movie for the fans. And then Andrew Garfield comes in and he's also not the same Spider-Man that we remember. They're just pulling him from another universe and he's just playing Spider-Man. And they're doing fanfare because Andrew Garfield is playing a Spider-Man. Not the Amazing Spider-Man from the movies, but another Spider-Man. If they did that, I don't think it's going to go well for the fans. I don't think we're all going to like that either. I trash talk a lot about the original trilogy of Spider-Man movies. Deep down inside, I have a very strong connection with those movies because I was a kid when they came out. I'm very nostalgic for those films, and my brothers and I would always watch those movies because we love them so much. I can go back and see that some of them are really bad. Spider-Man 2 is the best one, but some of them are bad. But I would hate for them to act like, hey, Tobey Maguire, you're reprising your role as Spider-Man, but you're not playing the Spider-Man from those 3 movies. Just pretend you're like old man Spidey from a whole different universe. That's not going to go well. Especially the fact that Tobey Maguire is 20 years older, right? So how is he going to play the same Spider-Man as 20 years before? He can't. So I think they're going to have to work around somehow the fact that the multiverse opens up and they grab a Dr. Octopus from a different universe into Tobey, oh God, this is all getting so complicated. They open up the multiverse and pull Alfred Molina's Dr. Octopus from a different universe into Tom Holland's universe. And then they pull Tobey Maguire from the respected trilogy of Spider-Man movies to this universe. And when Tobey Maguire finds out that Dr. Octopus is alive, that's when we get a moment where he's like, I killed him though. Like, how is he alive? That would be a cool moment. And I'm actually on board for them to do that. With them doing that though, they obviously have to minimize Alfred Molina's character, because at the end of Spider-Man 2, we know that he becomes good and he has a change of heart at the end. So we're going to have to minimize that character to bring him back to being bad again. And the same goes with the Andrew Garfield character. I think it would be awesome to have a scene where Andrew Garfield comes into the MCU universe and then he finds out Electro's alive. I killed him though. Why is he alive? And then on top of that, he also finds out that Gwen Stacy's alive. But he's like, she died. Like, how is she still alive? Like, these are cool moments that can happen with the Spider-Man. Unfortunately though, we are going to have to minimize their enemies in a way that they are just not the same that we remember them to be. I know there's probably not that much of a affinity for Electro, but there is for Dr. Octopus, because we can all agree Alfred Molina is a great actor. He knows what he's doing, and he did such a great job with Dr. Octopus. In order for this to work, he would just have to be playing technically just a completely different Dr. Octopus in all. And you know that they're doing this. They're wanting to bring these characters from the multiverse to allow there to be a Sinister Six movie. They want to do that. They just want to fast forward and get there as quickly as possible. Or do they? Okay. Now hang on with me. This is so much information, but hang with me, okay? Hang with me right now. They can't do this in one film. I'm telling you right now, they cannot do this in one film. There's no way within an hour and 45-minute movie that they can bring in both Dr. Octopus, Alfred Molina, Electro, Jamie Foxx, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, Kirsten Dunst, and Emma Stone from different universes and bring them here and have enough time within a movie for all of them to understand what's going on, for Tom Holland to understand what's going on, because in that movie, he's the most important Spider-Man because it's his movie. Have there be a plot where Dr. Octopus and Electro find out about Vulture, Scorpion, Mysterio, and Shocker and be like, hey, you're bad guys, we're bad guys too. Let's team up together and create the Sinister Six. Like, there's so much stuff that would have to happen that they cannot deliver in one movie. So here's my theory. This is the 3rd film. I think the guys at Sony, and I know that they're working with Disney. Like this, like the agreement doesn't work unless Disney is working with them in some way, because everything is tied together with the MCU, because Tom Holland obviously connected to the MCU. So I know the original plans was that Spider-Man 3 was supposed to come out after Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. All things change thanks to COVID. So now Sony wants to get that movie out sooner. Obviously, got to make your money back. They have to push this earlier. So how are they going to explain the multiverse in a way so that we understand by the time that movie comes out? They can do it in a couple ways. One, either it's through WandaVision and they give an entire explanation as to how this works, or they try to explain it all within the first film. It is confirmed that Doctor Strange is going to be in Spider-Man 3, obviously to explain the whole multiverse thing. I think Spider-Man 3 is not going to be just Spider-Man 3. It's going to be a Spider-Man 3. There's got to be a Spider-Man 4, maybe a 5. But they have to make at least 2 movies to explain this, and at least bring in one of the Spider-Man to be there along the way with Tom Holland, whether that be Tobey Maguire or that be Andrew Garfield. Now, here's where the kicker comes in, because they need to build the relationship between Doc Ock, Electro, and the rest of the bad guys within Tom Holland's universe. That's one plot. Now they have to explain with Doctor Strange and Tom Holland what's going on and why are all these strange things happening. And then they also have to explain that to Andrew Garfield's character and Tobey Maguire's character. How is this stuff happening? They either do it this way, and I know they can't rush this. This is too good of an idea. Like, this is too precious of a thing that everyone's been dreaming about, that they cannot screw this up. So the only way they can do this is they have to take it slow. So whether that means we get Tom Holland, Doctor Strange for a little bit to explain things and explain what's going on, and then we get Andrew Garfield to come in and reprise his role as Spider-Man for majority of the films, and at the very, very end, we get Tobey Maguire. Because I think he's going to be the big push. He's a big Spider-Man that everyone has the nostalgia for. They bring him at the end, the movie ends, and it's leading into the Sinister Six. I think that's the only way that this can work. I don't know. There's so much to this, guys, and I don't even know if this whole video makes sense. I'm just trying to talk out loud with you guys. But please let me know in the comments down below. What do you think? Is this possible? Can this actually work? Can a Spider-Man 3 film with Doc Ock, Electro, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Kirsten Dunst, Emma Stone, can this work? Does this make sense? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below, guys. Thanks for watching the film. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And I'll see you guys next time in the next video, guys.